Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, record-breaking cornerback, and 50 interceptions in the 10-game season. Yeah. We back, baby. Monday Night Vibes, man, it threw me off a little bit. My intro didn't play, man, so it threw me off a little bit. I was waiting on that. But let's bring in my co-host, 2-3 Drees in the building. Welcome.
What's up? We back, baby. We are back.
Man, we are back, man. It's good to be back, man. We had a long weekend. A lot of things has been transpiring while we have been missing. And there's a lot of talk about, man, Coach Prime has finally told us what's been happening with him. And everybody's feel, I guess everybody feels better that he is overcoming his situation and things like that. How do you feel about it, Drees, man?
Man, I watched that whole press conference and I was on an emotional roller coaster.
Okay, wait.
All right.
Before we get into
I was about to go in, man.
Man. Tonight, man, we're going to talk about Christian Wilkins. I knew I was going to say Wilkinson. Christian Wilkins and the weird situation that's going on up there in Oakland Raiders and what they're saying is happening over there. We're going to talk about Coach Prime, and we have to talk about Shadua Sanders. Yeah, Shadua Sanders. Everybody is hyped about what's going on with Shadua Sanders, man. Have y'all heard about Christian Wilkins? Christian Wilkins. Hey, man, it was been right up under our nose the whole time, man. And let's talk about it, man. All right, man. Christian Wilkins was released after uncertainty of his return to play after reporting to camp, according to the Raiders' official statement. He is dealing with the same injury that in his previous season after 5 weeks. And that was a foot injury. Foot injuries are one of those injuries you can't mess around with. Athletes obviously need their feet to perform to the best of their abilities, right? But this situation between the Raiders and Christian Wilkins really is a weird situation. A weird situation, man. Excuse me. The Raiders recently are known to release players that still have financial obligations to, right? And then force them to have to file arbitration claim. A recent player they just released that has some guarantees in his contract. But you know what? The internet detectives, they never fail us, baby. The internet detectives have found out Christian Wilkins has a long history of doing weird things, guys. Wow. Yeah. Christian Wilkins doing weird things. Let's check it out.
Christian Wilkins was released because he was being an absolute weirdo in the Raiders locker room. Now, this is all alleged, but let's unpack. So we all heard that Christian Wilkins was released because he didn't take his rehab seriously. But it turns out that there was an incident with a teammate that led to his release. And when a teammate was asked about this, he said, it was weird, like a very weird incident. Now, the story floating around the internet is that Wilkins was allegedly tickling a man's toes repeatedly and would not stop, although he was asked 3 times. Insane. Now, Wilkins has always been an interesting player. There has been scenarios in which he has been accused of doing something like this, and especially when he played Josh Allen. Say that you zoom in very close. Here's Josh Allen, and look at my boy right down there. You'll notice what he's doing. Now, again, all of this is alleged, but I would be shocked if another team gives this man a shot in 2025. Sound off in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Like and follow for more daily NFL content.
What is the first thing that comes to mind, Trees, watching this man? That TikToker did an excellent job of going back in the history of Christian Wilkins and finding the evidence. Like I said, the internet detectives, man, they don't let us down. They will never let us down. What do you think of this situation? Now, we have to be polite and courteous and follow the rules and guidelines because we don't want no trouble and no issues. You understand what I'm saying? But how do you feel about this, man?
No, when I a lot of people say a lot of stuff on the internet, so a lot of times you can't believe it. But when I seen Adam Schefter report it and say that it was trouble in the locker room because he was trying to kiss people on the forehead. When he said 9 times out of 10, he got the sources. So when he reported it today, I saw a report of him saying that today. I'm like, oh man, this might be the real reason, because before you thought it was the injury, he didn't take the rehab serious. He didn't want to do the surgery again. So all right, they now trying to spend that money. They're trying to invest in somebody that's not taking it serious. But you see the reports coming from Adam Schefter, and then you see all the clips of his past history. That's not even that's like,
so you believe it. So as soon as Adam Schefter reported, you like,
no, it was like, I'm like, that's kind of weird. But then I seen the videos following that of his past history. Like, that's only half of it right there. I seen other videos of him doing half of it. We don't even know. So I'm it's kind of more believable now because I saw in my own eyes.
The first thing I thought and think watching this video and seeing other videos of Christian Wilkinson, playing these funny games, is this guy's just too big to be playing these games. Like, this is a defensive tackle, 6'5", 350 pounds. How am I supposed to defend myself if I'm having unwanted play, people playing with me, unwanted attention and things like that, and the other thing is people that practice certain religions can be extremely offended from certain behavior and don't tolerate any games being played of that nature, like Wilkins is allegedly being accused of. Right. So, you can't just be going around 6'5", 350 pounds, thinking you can kiss somebody on the forehead, tickle somebody's toes. Hey man, you gotta respect the situation, man.
And I'm thinking like it gotta be somebody on the team that's like got a big say. Like, no, you're not gonna do that for nobody on the team. So it gotta be somebody that, like, somebody, another probably Pro Bowler or a nice player on the team where it's not, you can take his word seriously. If he say what he say goes.
Donkey Fong in the chat say CTE, man. He should say everything is blamed on CTE. Hey, me, I like to look in players' eyes and people's eyes and try to see if I can feel the energy or see something through their eyes. And when I look in Christian Wilkins' eyes from the internet, obviously, it just, kind of looks like he's in the cloud nine or, a little googly eyed, kind of out there, not understanding a few things, you know what I mean? But listen, man, Christian Wilkins' problems, they began stemming from a foot injury, like you mentioned, right? But he decided to go against the advice of the team and decline surgery, right? Now, this is about guaranteed contracts and guaranteed money. That's what we're getting into now, right? All right. Right. So he declined to get surgery. Then training camp comes around. Training camp began, and then problems still persisted with Wilkins' foot. Then the weird eye incident occurred between Wilkins and a teammate that made the Raiders say they've seen enough of Wilkins. But the players from the Raiders won't really expose or give us any details of what really happened, because everyone is saying what Christian Wilkins did is weird. And when someone's just saying it's weird, that means there is some more details that's probably graphic. Maybe they're ashamed to mention because they feel like they're football players, And the crazy part about the kissing part is that details are coming out that Wilkins' teammate, we don't even know who he is yet, filed an HR complaint over Wilkins kissing his forehead. This doesn't sound like the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That's just my opinion. This doesn't sound like the whole truth and nothing but the truth. But we will eventually hear more and more as time continues, We will find out. But here is the Raiders statement on the release of Christian Wilkins. All right, I'm not reading this from the screen anymore. All right, we ain't doing that no more. I'm not having that mess. All right, it says, we have decided that it is the best interest of the organization to move on for Christian Wilkins, and he has been informed of his release from the team. This franchise has a commitment to excellence on and off the field with no clear path or plan for future return to play from Christian. This transaction is necessary for the entire organization to move forward and prepare for the new season. Right? Now, I forgot to tell y'all, I forgot to title this and let y'all know that this is about Christian Wilkins guaranteed money, right? And we're going to get into guaranteed money in the NFL and the expectations of having that guaranteed language. And the point is, what's guaranteed in life? Chat, y'all talk to me. What's guaranteed in life? 2, 3 threes?
What else? Taxes.
What else? What else? That's it, man. Nothing is guaranteed in life. Not even taxes, man. People figure out ways and have people in higher places to avoid taxes. You know, the only thing that is guaranteed in life is death. That's about it. There's nothing else guaranteed in life.
Somebody gonna say child support.
Child support. That might be the closest to second, you know, closest to death. But, you know, I think Christian Wilkins decided not to have the surgery and play these games because he thought he had the leverage. Like I told y'all about players having leverage. And, you know, he went on the advice of whoever he was taking advice from, but obviously it wasn't the best advice. You know, if you still come into training camp and you're still dealing with a nagging injury that hindered your season, this previous season before, right? You know what I mean? But back to these contracts. Although the language in these NFL contracts says the money is guaranteed, doesn't necessarily hold true in every contract, probably in all the contracts, right? And like I'm telling y'all, it's a very thin line between the guaranteed language in contracts and what teams can say violates the terms to avoid that guaranteed language, right? And we're going to get into that language. Christian Wilkins sounds like he may have been violating the 5-foot area rule in the locker room. What is the 5-foot area rule in the locker room? The 5-foot area is we all taking showers together. And we all have to put on our towel and dry off accordingly. And a lot of players, most of the players are naked. So if I'm in my locker, I'm doing my thing and I'm drying off accordingly, or maybe I'm taking a shower. In the shower, we all are naked. There's a 5-foot area rule. Don't come in that 5-foot radius. And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like that 5-foot radius was definitely violated, especially if people are talking about he kissing them on the head. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, watch out for some more embarrassing news to come out in the near future, man. Hopefully it's nothing like we've just watched him do in these videos that I just played. You know what I mean? But you know what? I don't know if you ever had a foot injury or seen anyone dealing with a foot injury, Dries. Those foot injuries, man.
He's not a small guy, man. He over 300 pounds, so that's like affecting him even more. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of pounds.
He's usually quick. He's usually quick for a 300-pounder, but I mean, we gonna see how things turn out if he gets signed to a team or what they gonna do. But they gonna get him for a discount for sure. Somebody getting a discount.
Yeah, but like I said about these guaranteed contracts, and I talked about it with Tyreek Hill having that leverage and things like that. You know, how far some players will go to prove their point. Sometimes to me, it's just diabolical. You know, it don't matter no more if millions of dollars is at stake or at risk, you know, and you can possibly lose this money. That still doesn't detour some of these players from doing things how they plan on doing it according to their agenda, you know. And that's just funny to me because it's just weird because I made a vow, a promise to myself, my teammates, my coaches, the owners, that I am going to make everyone proud of paying me that money. You know what I mean? Now, when you gave the team, the owners, the opportunity to take that money away from you, what happens next, Dries? What happens next? Do you know anything about the NFL? Does the chat know anything about NFL. What happens next?
You're never gonna get that value again. I know that.
You won't get that value again. The money says guaranteed in the contract, but now you're in a legal battle, and you're forced to have to, file a grievance with the NFL, PA. And this is a battle. And sometimes, if y'all don't understand how the NFLPA work, the NFLPA is the ones that are supposed to hold the NFL accountable, right? That's our freaking union. Our freaking union, which is the NFLPA, they are supposed to hold the NFL accountable.
You say suppose.
Yes, suppose.
Suppose. I hear you say suppose.
Supposed to hold the NFL accountable. But the catch-22 in this conflict of interest situation that we deal with in the NFL, guess who is paying the NFLPA?
The NFL.
Obviously. Who else is going to pay the NFLPA? That's the NFL. So they're in control of who is the president and all these things of the NFL. Of course, we have votes and things like that, but you know what I mean? There's always been a conflict of interest. But I'm going to bring up this language and let's check it out. We're not going to go through the whole language, but we'll go through a little bit and y'all zoom in so y'all can see this a little bit, right? It says, if at any time player 1 does not report the club, 2 does not practice or play with club, 3 leaves club without prior written approval, including but not limited to retirement or incarceration, unless such incarceration is for more than 72 hours, provided that the player does not miss a game during such incarceration. 4 does not honor any terms of the contract, so on and so forth. So you see, there's so much and so many different languages in these contracts, but what really holds truth? You understand what I'm saying? And there was another statement about, this contract. What in that contract? I didn't see anything reading that contract, and y'all can read that contract, that says that we can void his contract because he doesn't want to go with the team advice and have surgery because the team wants him to have surgery. No, he decided to, get a second opinion, which we have the right to do. And there's no language in the contract that says they can take his money away. So it's going to be a fight to the end. The NFLPA arbitration. That's what we do in NFL. That's what's in our contract. If we have a disagreement or the dispute, we don't go to regular court. We go to arbitration. Food for thought. A little information for y'all. You know what I mean?
You gotta fight for that money, man.
Gotta fight for that money, man. They ain't playing in the NFL, man. They ain't playing. But all right, man. Switching gears. All right, Coach Prime, man. Coach Prime had my boy 2-3 Drees in tears, man. He had my boy almost in tears. I ain't gonna say he was in tears, man. I ain't gonna say
I definitely was feeling them, man. I definitely was feeling them.
You was definitely feeling them, man. Yeah, man. Finally came out and revealed his situation, what he's been dealing with. Shout out to Coach Prime, man. Clap it up for Coach Prime, man. One time for Coach Prime, man. Make sure y'all clap it up in the chat. Y'all throw some clapping hands in the chat. Clap it up wherever you're listening to this from. Make sure y'all throw up your city, throw up your state. Let me know where y'all coming in from. Talk to us. We talk back. So like I said, Coach Prime has finally revealed what he's been dealing with. And like you say, it's that C word that has affected so many of us Americans, and we have family members in so many situations that arise from the C word, you know what I mean? But one thing about Coach Prime, and whatever he's dealing with, man, Coach Prime is surely, indeed, a true leader, man. And he understands the power and influence he has over people. So he used his power and influence to make the world a better place. You know what I mean? Coach Prime is a powerful man. You know what I mean? He is a powerful man, And if you listen to him closely in this press conference, right? He said every situation he has to deal with becomes a tool he uses to help others. And immediately he comes out about that C word and is transparent about what he's dealing with,
Right.
Transparent. I mean, down to telling people, it's Coach Prime, shout out, man.
The situation, man.
Deep, man. But
For sure.
shout out to Coach Prime, man. You can't give him enough love and respect for the things that he does to try to help the world out. You know what I mean? And that leadership that's showing us, despite how perfect we think people's lives are, people like Coach Prime, people like myself, people like, maybe Barack Obama, so on and so forth. We all go through trying situations. And Coach Prime is trying, he is trying to, or he isn't trying to be secretive about the situation, right? He's just being totally open and transparent, like I said, man, if y'all was listening to the press conference, he is being transparent down to him possibly being in the bed at night, and that's a problem, for him. But he's being transparent because he wants everyone to go get checked out, and it's that important the older we get, man. And we all been affected, you know what I mean? What do you think about that? How do y'all feel about Coach Prime being transparent about us, about that C word, and explaining to us the different things about what he has to go through,
Yeah, man. One of the biggest things that stuck out to me was when they asked him about like how he feel about it and everything like that. He was like, he was basically saying like he never asked why me when it was going good, so I'm not gonna ask why me when it's going bad. And another thing he was saying is that what's happening with him and his journey and stuff like that is reaching other people. They was like, what's the biggest struggle of like what's going on? He was like, people understand it's not about me, it's about my reach, it's about the people I'm touching. There's gonna be people out there that's gonna go to the doctors after they see this. There's gonna be people out there, they wives gonna be like, listen, Coach Prime, yeah. So it's like
influence he has. But
yeah.
I forgot to tell you, like my intro, man, I got all messed up. I didn't have my energy, the beat in the beginning. I forgot to tell y'all, man, make sure y'all stay to the end. I have a big announcement, a special announcement that I have to give y'all and tell y'all, so y'all don't want to miss it. Make sure y'all stay to the end. And man, so yes, Coach Prime, man, we are so proud of Coach Prime and so happy for him to overcome this trial and tribulation he had just recently deal with. And hey,
so
man,
that's how you got to make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you get the notifications.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all gonna want to turn on your notifications. You're gonna want to tell a friend to tell a friend, because baby, as me telling you, man, Coach Prime is back in Colorado, man, ready to fulfill his obligation to the University of Colorado and those football players on that team. And for everyone that convinced themselves that Coach Prime was done coaching these kids at the University of Colorado because Shadua Sanders, Travis Hunter, Shadua Sanders moved on, now y'all can stop those rumors. Because Coach Prime is back, baby. He loved those kids. He loved kids, period. He loved human beings. And this year, Coach Prime, it will be his first year, his first season without Shadua Sanders. And I want to know, man, will the Colorado Buffaloes win the Big 12 Conference Championship this season? What do y'all think is going to happen with Colorado and Coach Prime since Shadua Sanders is not there no more? What do you think? How you think this season is going to play out for Coach Prime? Being that Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Shadua Sanders, all these athletes, excluding his son, which is the key factor to this equation. How do you think things are going to play out, man?
Man, I think they still going to be competitive, maybe more competitive because they getting some bigger guys up front. The trenches is where you win the game at. That was been a problem. Even though they had the skill players, that kind of their problem was like the trenches. So they got some bigger guys on the offensive line, the defensive line, and they got a nice little quarterback coming in. He ain't got that college experience yet, but he's an athlete. So I think he's gonna come out there, man, and do what he got to do.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think that, yes, I think they absolutely do have a chance. You know why? You made a good point about him, fixing the problems he had in the past 2 years with the interior, offensive line, and defensive line. But there's another reason why Coach Prime will dominate the Big 12. There is a reason.
What's that?
Because Coach Prime understands how and where to recruit. He understands them athletes, that speed is down south. And he understands speed and athleticism wherever it is, and he will recruit athletes from wherever. And he also understands discipline. He understands discipline is one of the key factors to winning. So Coach Prime getting athletes, super athletes, they might not be 5 stars, but they're great athletes, and they with speed, and you apply that discipline into their life and into their practice, that's how you become a winner. Trust me, I know. You know what I mean? And of course, Coach Prime building a relationship with a starting quarterback, that isn't Shedeur, will present different challenges. And we have to see how that goes. But Coach Prime is full of wisdom, man. Coach Prime is full of wisdom. So I don't see that being an issue. That is a non-issue. Coach Prime understands finding talent, skilled players with speed ultimately is going to dominate the Big 12. You know what I mean? He understands that. He understands that. He just needs to decide who will take over where Shadua Sanders left off. And let's check out Colorado's football schedule. All right, y'all blow that up, man. First game of the season will be Georgia Tech. Like I said, who will end up being the starter? Is it going to be Caden Salter or Julian Juju Lewis? You know what I mean? And I've watched some tape on both of these young men. These young men both are very talented. The only difference is Caden is a senior, Juju is a freshman. Experience means a lot, you know what I mean? But the schedule, Georgia Tech right off the rip.
I got a question for you though.
Okay, hold on. Let me get through this. I think there's 2 main teams on this schedule that they have to get through, and that's the first game of the season. Georgia Tech upset a few teams last year, Miami University being one of them, and then one of these games that's not on this screen right here is Kansas State. That's the last game of the season, right? So they get through those 2 games right there. I think they will hold it down in the Big 12. Very talented team. But out of Caden Salter and Julian Juju Lewis, man, Caden Salter, man, let me tell you, man, he is very explosive and athletic, and he has some wheels. He is a dual threat quarterback, and ultimately, I think he will give Colorado the best chance to win right off the rip. You know what I mean? So I think he will have the edge, just like the situation in Cleveland. Who will get their chance first to prove themselves? I think Caden will get the chance first. But what you got? What's your question for me?
No, I was just asking because I never seen, you know how Juju, he reclassified forward. Usually a lot of times people reclassify back. Have you ever seen that before? Somebody that goes forward in grades?
Yeah, because sometimes you hold your kids back early in life, hoping that to make sure they get their scholarships or their they've grown enough, matured enough, to compete at a certain level so they can get those scholarships. And then once that has been accomplished in the freshman or sophomore season, they figure like, all right, it's a waste of time being in high school, so let me class up so I can get up out of it. That's how that usually goes, you know what I mean? So, all right, man. All right, what we all been waiting for, Shadua Sanders. Shadua Sanders, man. It has been exciting. Everything I've been thinking and been talking about is starting to come true. I'm telling y'all, man, I know what I'm talking about. Shadua Sanders. All right, we're talking about Shadua Sanders, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking, Dries, the Cleveland Browns have a 4-man competition at quarterback, Dries. A 4-man competition, right? And the 5th round rookie has the most potential of them all.
That's safe to say. That's definitely safe to say.
Just think about that, right? How bizarre is this situation in the NFL? This team has a 4-man quarterback competition, a 3rd round rookie, a 5th round rookie, and the 5th round rookie has the most potential of them all. You know what I mean? But to make matters even worse, the one quarterback, Kenny Pickett, who I believe is the only one to be potentially traded, is down with injury, like we all know, with a hamstring injury. And they're saying he's going to be out to possibly up to 3 to 6 weeks, right? How will this affect the Cleveland Browns quarterback competition, right? And it's going to affect it in a good way because it's funny. You know, we got to have a few laughs through these situations. You know, it's funny, right? It's funny to me because ever since camp started, it seemed to me that Kenny Pickett was running weird, like something was bothering him. And I thought maybe it was just a heavy, you know, maybe he was just a heavy-footed guy that maybe runs heavy, but it looked weird since camp started, right? This is just my opinion. And maybe I was right because those hamstrings must have been tight since camp started, right? But Kenny Pickett does have some wheels, man. Let's check Kenny Pickett out, man. Let's check Kenny Pickett out. Ooh, look at them wheels. Hey, is it me? Is it me? I'm gonna rewind it again. Nah, yeah, no, well, let me let it play out so y'all can see him a little bit. Y'all can see Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is one of those quarterbacks that likes to get out of the pocket and make plays out of the pocket because it's rough standing in that pocket. Right here. Watch closely. Kenny Pickett got some wheels now. He moving. But is it me? Is it just me? Am I the only one that thinks Kenny Pickett runs with a slight limp or maybe heavy-footed or something? You know what I mean? Is it just me? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too hard, but I always thought that. You know what I mean?
He preparing for that fake slide. You know, he know for the fake slide.
Hey, it's me. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I don't know. But switching gears a little bit in this topic about Shadua Sanders, right? I want to make this clear. Let's make this perfectly clear, right? Dillon Gabriel, right? Dillon Gabriel is listed as 5'11" tall. There aren't many starting quarterbacks under 6 foot tall in the NFL. And if a quarterback is under 6 foot tall, he's usually very mobile and or athletic, with a few exceptions, right? Now there's Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, and Brock Purdy. These are the players, the quarterbacks that are under 6 foot tall, you know, smaller, shorter quarterbacks. The point is to play quarterback in the NFL under 6 foot tall, something needs to be special about that player. And none of that. He has a good arm. He can read defense well. He processes everything quickly, which allows him to get the ball out quickly. Right? None of that. None of that. Quarterbacks under 6 foot needs special attributes to overcome vision difficulties and the physical nature of the sport, along with a strong arm, getting the ball out quickly, etc., along with all those other things, right? So it's so much more of a challenge for a 5'11" quarterback to be successful in the NFL. I'm not saying it can't happen. It definitely can happen, right? And I would say the best comparison to Dillon Gabriel out of the bunch would be Brock Purdy. Yeah, that's the best comparison in my opinion to Dillon Gabriel. And that's a good comparison. That's a good thing. Purdy handles the 49ers offense well. I think he handles it well, making sure he plays within the means to effectively run the 49ers offense, right? I've also heard that Purdy talks about the difficulties of finding open lanes to throw from because it's hard for Purdy to see over the offensive line. Yes, Purdy talked about the difficulties of being able to see over the offensive line. I don't believe Dillon Gabriel's arm is as strong as Brock Purdy, but they both are effective in what they do at 5'11" or whatever height they are, right? Now, now that Pickett is out with the hamstring injury, Kevin Stefanski will be able to evaluate his rookie Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel much more closer with more quality reps with starters and second stringers. Yes, Shedeur is getting up in there. This is another big moment for both rookies, Dillon and Shedeur. Like I said, this quarterback competition will come down to these two rookies. Kenny Pickett may be the quarterback who mysteriously ends up on the injured reserve. Remember, I told y'all one of these 4 quarterbacks are going to end up on the injured reserve if Kenny Pickett can't get traded. Remember, I said that here first. I said this here first. Now, here's a recap from Tony Grossi from today's practice. He is a Cleveland insider. And let's check it out. We're about to get into this Shadua Sanders heating up.
Buddy, Tony Grossi back with your Cleveland Browns training camp report. Day 5 presented by Maloney and Novotny. Well, Kenny Pickett wasn't here today because of a injured hamstring, but the other 3 quarterbacks probably had collectively their best practice of the summer. Let's go right to the numbers. You're going to enjoy this. Joe Flacco, 6 of 9. Dillon Gabriel, 8 of 12. Shadua Sanders, 9 of 9 with 2 touchdowns. He ended the practice with a nice pass to tight end Sal Cannella. Also, one of the offensive stars early in camp, Gage Lavardin, had a beautiful catch in a crowd at the end line in the end zone of Shedeur Sanders. Today was the first day the Browns practice with pads, and they don't tackle to the ground. It's basically one thud, knock a running back down. Well, that's exactly what rookie linebacker Carson.
Y'all make sure y'all heard that loud and clear. Loud and clear. Shadua Sanders was a perfect 9 for 9 today. What did he say? With 2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns. I ain't hear say touchdown for nobody else.
It's crazy.
Nobody else got touchdowns today.
You know, with his first opportunity in pass after Kenny Pickett's injury. You know what I mean? But Dillon Gabriel, let's be honest, Dillon Gabriel has an opportunity of a lifetime as a 3rd round pick to have a chance to really show he is capable to be the starter of the Browns, right? This is an opportunity of a lifetime. At the same time, right? At the same time, Shedeur has a chance to outplay Dillon and quickly move up the depth chart and show the world what a lot of us already know or believe.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur is the man for the job. That's what we believe.
Do you think that the training camp practices or the preseason games show more for them to know who will be the starter?
I think it's a little combination of both. You know, once you have to show what you can do in training camp, be effective against good competition and insane in the preseason. You know, this is going to put you in there in the beginning of the game against the 1s, the 2s, and you have to show that you can handle the smoke, the pressure, the blitzes, and so on and so forth. And you know, that's pretty much how the evaluation goes with coaches and GMs and so on and so forth, right? But because Gabriel was selected before Shedeur in the 3rd round, he will get the first opportunity to show the Browns if he can handle the starting quarterback position. That's fair. That's how it goes. That's the order. There ain't nothing you could do about that. Dillon Gabriel is going to get the first opportunity to show if he can handle the job, right? And Shedeur has to do things like he's done today to force Kevin Stefanski's hand to make Shedeur the starter. Yes, Shedeur Sanders, the cream of the crop, rise to the top, baby. You know what I mean? You know,
sure, man.
I love it though, because things are officially heating up at the quarterback competition, and Shedeur is showing out like we all knew and what we all been waiting for. And let's check Shedeur Sanders out, man, showing out today at practice. First day in practice and pass, first day getting physical. I mean, and Shedeur Sanders, man, I know he was excited for his opportunity. All these negative things, talking about throwing equipment, manager, and so on and so forth. He say, man, can't nothing faze me, man. I done been through it all in this sports stuff, man, in this college football stuff. Let's check Shadua Sanders out today, lighting it on fire, man, getting us excited, getting us hyped. Oh, man, we can't wait.
Football is back.
Woo! Few check downs. Hey, that's how it goes. You got to take what they give you on defense sometimes. Touchdown.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Get it out quick. Ooh. Welcome to the NFL, baby. Baby boy. Welcome to the NFL, baby boy. Get it out quick, find an open man.
Nice snap, handle it.
Nice smooth handoffs. Little check down. Touchdown. Hey, that's how you end practice right there. That's how you end practice right there. Touchdown. Hey, man. You know, one thing I noticed since training camp started with Shadua Sanders, he loves throwing the ball to number 84. He loves throwing that ball. There's a lot of connections, number 84 and number 87. I think his name is Lukey. I can't think of his name. 84 and 87. That's who he has to work with right now. And that's how you show that you are the man for the job and you can handle any situation. It doesn't matter who is out there for Shedeur Sanders to compete with against the defense. He is going to make it happen. That's Tom Brady mode. When he throw them, legendary, that's Brady mode, That's Brady mode. But, it's funny because it's going to be interesting to see how the Browns try to use Dylan Gabriel on offense, given his size discrepancy, right? Gabriel had, and this is key. This is important. Y'all check this out, right? And Gabriel had his best success at the University of Oregon running their offense. And this is the same offense Bo Nix ran in college, which led him to being selected in the first round by the Denver Broncos. Do I see Bo Nix as a first-round quarterback, a second-round quarterback? Possibly he can make it in the second round. Definitely not a first-round quarterback. That's just my opinion, right? Now, here's my take on Dylan Gabriel, who went to the University of Oregon. Oregon Ducks offense is a quick tempo, no huddle, get the ball out quick type offense. That offense is designed to keep the defense from making adjustments, properly getting set, or even being able to make substitutions. So it's kind of a trick you offense, catch you off guard, right? My point is the Oregon Ducks offense is not an offense that is designed to prepare quarterbacks for the next level. That makes a difference. That makes a huge difference, right? And that's why Bo Nix is having such a hard time. And Sean Payton is trying to find schemes and plays that will make Bo Nix successful. I just don't think Bo Nix has it in him to be a top caliber quarterback in the National Football League. When Bo Nix was at the University of Auburn, Bo Nix struggled. Only his freshman year was pretty successful. After that, he could not find a way to be successful. Now, to help Bo Nix out, not many quarterbacks are successful besides Cam Newton at the University of Auburn. But as soon as Bo Nix goes and transfers to the University of Oregon, he automatically becomes successful and turns into a first-round quarterback. The Oregon Ducks offense is a system, scheme, offense.
Man, not even just Oregon Ducks. I mean, when we went to your old school, UCF, they was like high pace, fast offense that moved really fast. They put up a lot of points. Then he went to Oklahoma, they did the same thing, and then he went to Oregon. So all his offenses he'd been in college was like more fast paced, just no huddle, spread out. It wasn't just like, the NFL would slow you down.
Right. 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he went to University of Central Florida. Then he went to the University of Oklahoma, but he didn't do his best. Like I think he was completing like 63% at UCF, 65% at Oklahoma. Don't quote me on these. We can research it.
Yeah,
and then when he got
his
to
best season was at Oklahoma.
Yeah, when he got to the University of Oregon, he was like 72%. And like I say, the way they run it off,
at Oregon.
It's a trick me offense. It's a catch you off guard. It's not an offense that is designed to teach and raise quarterbacks for the NFL. Like situations like Shadua Sanders. Shadua Sanders is built for pretty much any situation. That's just the way it is. When you go through what he's been through from the black college, Jackson State, barely having the resources to play football, to succeed. You might have 5 footballs at practice. You might get only 2 pair of cleats, 1 for practice, 1 for the game. It's all type of situations playing at black college, but he adjusts, and that makes him that much more resilient. You know what I mean? And then you get to a situation where you have all the resources. And now you can take advantage of that and become a better part of you, man. And that's what Shadua Sanders did, man. That's what Shadua Sanders did. That's what he did, man. So I'm excited, man. Football season here. We have the Hall of Fame game coming up Thursday. They always have this every year, and it is just that's let us know football season is here. The Cleveland Browns play August 8th, I think, and they open up with the Panthers in preseason. And this may be where Shedeur Sanders gets a lot of reps, a lot of opportunity. He may get in the first quarter. It might be the second quarter, but it's going to get a chance, and he's going to show himself. He's going to have an opportunity to show what he can do in NFL. And you know why that's so important in the preseason? Why is that so important, Dries? Let me know. Talk to me. Why is it so important for him to show off when he gets in that game? Not just because of this competition.
Just to get the opportunity, that real pace of the NFL pace and everything like that. And then he won't get, I feel like he can get more reps on the real live preseason game than he get in practice. Because practice, you're not getting that many reps on 11 on 11. Like today, he had 9 passes. He won't get more than that in preseason, especially with Kenny Pickett being out. You got Dylan Graybill, and I don't know, Joe Flacco probably get like 1 drive maybe, and let them 2 battle it out for the rest of the time.
Like,
honestly,
us vets, we don't like to play in none of the preseason games, especially the first one. We are not trying to get into, so I don't expect Joe Flacco to even get into the game. But you know what's most important about this game? 32 other teams are watching. That's what's most important. Now, he goes out and does something like he did today, 9 for 9, 2 touchdowns. 32 other teams are watching. Oh, man, this might be the first time we see in the history that something bizarre happens where a team tries to make a trade for him, like the Indianapolis Colts, the New Orleans Saints, all these teams that are having issues. I don't know if the New Orleans Saints are having issues with their with Shug out there with their rookie quarterback, but the Indianapolis Colts are in a freaking they're in trouble over there. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
I told you, don't be surprised about that trade, man. I've been talking about. You said that trade with Kenny Pickett. I've been saying Shedeur, but you never know. You never know.
I don't know, man. So, man, oh man. Big surprise, big announcement, like I've been talking about. I was kind of holding back. I didn't know if I really wanted to tell everyone, but I haven't got the official confirmation. I just have the schedule. I'm waiting for the last confirmation to give me the specific time. I'm going to let y'all know. But Coach Prime is back, baby. Coach Prime is back. Thursday, we bring in Coach Prime to say what needs to be said. And Coach Prime, we have a lot to talk about, baby. Man, I can't wait to talk to Coach Prime. Man, first time me and Coach Prime, we was talking, that I didn't want to be too annoying or too much. Sometimes you got to just be right there. You don't want to do too much. But this time, man, I feel a little more comfortable. The relationship is all the way authentic, all the way great, man. Coach Prime is out to spread love. Man, he's on a mission, man. He don't have time for any negativity, any craziness. He's out to help, to teach, and to support, man. And that's how it is, man.
Man, you gotta love him, man.
That's how life goes.
You gotta love him, man.
What's the final predictions for Shadua Sanders? When does he start? How many yards does he throw for? What does the Cleveland Browns record end up this season, man? That's a lot right there. That's a lot on that young man plate. This is something you can't ask a player who's going through something like this because he doesn't want to answer something like that. But that's why we're here, man, to make predictions, man. But, man, I see him. I think he can start possibly by the second game. By the
second game?
But if things continue to go the way that I see it going, things like I said, one quarterback is going to mysteriously end up on the practice squad. I mean, the injured reserve, right? Mm-hmm. One of the quarterbacks is going to mysteriously end up on the injured reserve, right? Joe Flacco has a maximum, I mean an absolute maximum of 5 games of not even being a NFL successful quarterback, of 5 games of not making the Browns look absolutely silly. After 5 games, he's going to have the Browns looking silly. That's just you're not in shape no more. Joe Flacco's not in shape no more. I'm looking
but
for
you said week 2.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm saying by week 2. I'm just letting you know by 5. Flacco he don't have by week 2. Flacco will be ready to give it up. He has a maximum of 5 games in him. You know what I mean?
Damn, so Flacco going to start week 1, then Shedeur week 2. That's the prediction.
Yeah. And you have to have that football endurance. He don't got that endurance. That's the word I was looking for. He's done. That endurance is out of there. If Joe Flacco had a series, if we was out to eat and all sitting at a table and had a few drinks and just talking shit, and we all NFL players.
He go to bed first.
He will come out and tell us the truth. He's like, guys, I'm telling you, after 4 games, guys, it's like my body shuts down. Like I can't even get out of the bed. Like there are stories like that in the NFL. Players can't even move. They have to take shots just to be able to move and properly practice and things like that. All these cortisone shots and all these type of different medicines that people take. I stayed away from all that crap. I stayed away from absolutely all that crap. So yeah, man. By week 2.
Well, that's a bold prediction. That's a bold prediction right there.
I have no facts behind these. This is my prediction. And like I said, a lot of things that I talked about are going true. Kenny Pickett is the only one that can potentially be traded out of the bunch. Unless, like I said, there's always an exception to every equation. Now, if Shadua Sanders goes out there and he starts going 9 for 9 and 2 touchdowns like he did in practice, someone can possibly trade for Shedeur Sanders, right? Now, on the other hand, Shedeur Sanders, man, is going to go out there and battle. It's going to be between him and Dylan Gabriel. Kenny Pickett is messing up the plans that the Cleveland Browns had for him. Kenny Pickett is supposed to show other teams that he can still play in the NFL and build up his trade value so they can get rid of him.
Now it's 36 weeks he out. So
it's looking like Kenny Pickett is going to mysteriously end up on IR. And that's my opinion. I said it here first. When this happened, y'all say what needs to be said first. But like I said, Coach Prime in the building Thursday night vibes, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all get the lights up tonight, man. Breaking news, man. Big news, special announcement. Make sure y'all get the lights up. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell. And yeah, man, share this because people need to hear this, man. They need to know Asante Samuels, say what needs to be said, perspective, because I always have a different perspective, and I'm hitting it right on the head for y'all. And this is how this is going to play out for the Cleveland Browns. I just don't understand how in the world the NFL can justify drafting Shadua Sanders in the 5th round. Did y'all see J.J. McCarthy out there? I know he ain't in the same draft class as Shadua Sanders, but did you see him out there? Did y'all see
man, I see people saying Vikings favorite to win a Super Bowl. I've seen it. They say, I'm like, what, J.J. McCarthy be the quarterback?
Yeah, that's Reddick or something like that you looking at. Did you see Jackson Dart out there in the New York Giants, right? I'm predicting and saying Jackson Dart should start. Russell Wilson is over with. Jackson Dart is horrible. He looks horrible. I'm telling y'all right now. These quarterbacks out here don't look worth a damn. Shadua Sanders is going to be a hot commodity, and he's going to keep chopping at the wood. And hey, the pressure's not on him. We just put the pressure on ourselves because what we want to see. He's playing this thing exactly how he need to play it. But hey, y'all make sure y'all drop in the comments questions y'all want me to ask Coach Prime and the things we got to talk about. But we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna have a long, fun conversation, man. And I'm gonna have some fun with Coach Prime. You know, he likes to have fun. I'm gonna lift his energy up. I'm gonna lift the spirit up. I'm gonna have him laughing. We're gonna be giggling and all that good stuff, man. So shout out to Coach Prime. Shout out to the Sanders family, man. Man, they are definitely one of a kind. And last thing before we go, did y'all see who was with Coach Prime when he was getting his surgery and things like that happening? Did y'all see?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Can y'all just put it in the chat? Did y'all see? Did y'all see?
Carucci.
Hey,
got the young bucks around.
One thing about hey, we all need some eye candy with us, man, when we go on this journey, man. I don't care who you think you are, what you think you is. Hey, no one is supposed to be lonely out here. And it's the right way to do it is to have some eye candy with you. Nobody, you know what I mean? And we're gonna leave it right there. Hey, but next time, man, I have it right. My intro is back. My intro was off tonight. Leroy, make sure you get the intro right. Somehow I messed it up and took it off. But man, 2-3 Drees.
Yes, sir.
Thursday night vibes, man. It was fun tonight. Any breaking news before we get off? Anything happen before we leave?
I see Fly Eagles Fly. I love you, 22.
Man, love back, man. I love y'all too, man. And Eagles, man, like Philadelphia Eagles was the most let me see how I can put this. The Eagles was the most precious place to my heart that I played with out of all the teams.
They paid you the most money?
Yeah, but it wasn't just about that. Of course, that had something to do with it, but it was just about the fans, the atmosphere. And I don't know, when you break up from a long, tumultuous relationship, shit like that, tumultuous relationship, and now you entered into another relationship, and that new relationship just feels so wonderful and things like that. That probably had a little bit to do with it. But, ultimately, it was just about respect and let me be a man, treat me like a man, and so on and so forth. So, fly, Eagles, fly, man. I'm an Eagle till I die, man. Yeah, man.
Shit.
You like that? Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm an Eagle till I die. Hey, I got to go trade. I got to trade more that. Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm an Eagle till I die.
Let's
go. All right, man. Oh, man. What else, man? Let me, I'm having so much fun. Let me check social media real quick. I know Drees got to go, man. Drees got to go, but we vibing out, having a great time tonight. You know what I mean?
Some breaking news.
Breaking news, yeah. Who was Charleston White talking about? Didn't Charleston White go off on somebody?
Oh no, I ain't see that. What he was
I thought he went off on a football player. It was something I wanted to talk about. But it's all good, man. Thursday night vibes. I'm Asante.
Pick. Huh? I was about to say one thing right now about Travis Hunter. He be getting more reps at defense. That's
right. Travis Hunter getting more reps on defense. And he's going to play offensive defense. But we'll talk about that Thursday or Friday. We'll get in that. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about. Hey, y'all make sure y'all drop those comments in the chat, what we're going to talk about, things like that. But Thursday night vibes, I'm Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, the 50 interception king, record breaker cornerback. And that's 2-3 Drees, the Philadelphia native, the Philadelphia Eagles cornerback guru, the Philadelphia cornerback professionalist. And we are out, man. We are out. See y'all next time.